The point is that I want to talk about morality for a moment. And, morality is one of those things that's interesting. And I think about what David Hume was looking at, the way he looked at it and talked about it. Morality is not something that can be looked at objectively, in the sense of looking at it like the way we would look at something scientifically. It's not an objective thing. It's not a thing out there in the world, but it's really judgments we make. And we kind of use some kind of guidelines. We come up with different things. And basically, I think it's more like pragmatism. I'm probably just talking in a way that somebody who's a professor of philosophy will probably go, oh my God, this guy's crazy. Anyway, the thing is, morality is more pragmatic. It's more a matter of what works. And I like pragmatism, William James stuff. I mean, you have to really read him, because if you go according to the dictionary definition of pragmatism, you might have a problem. But if you go according to what William James actually wrote, it makes more sense. And he didn't like the name pragmatism anyway, but he went with it because that's what everybody else was calling it. It's more what he called radical empiricism. But anyway, the thing is that morality is a matter of people's judgment about things, and it's based on feelings at the end of the day. And what we feel is right or wrong changes as we understand the world better, as we know things better. Our understanding of things changes how we see reality. And that's the truth. And it also depends on who's in power, too, because, even in the days when slavery was going on, for example, there were a lot of people who did think slavery was wrong, but they weren't in a position of power, and they knew not to even speak up for fear of retribution. So people learn. But that's what morality is. It is based on feelings. That's what David Hume was saying. What we think is right and wrong, it has to be grounded in that, in our feelings. Because if we don't feel that it's wrong, then to us it really isn't wrong, is it? It's not really wrong if it doesn't feel wrong. But a lot of politicians think that way too, like Blagojevich right now. I'm sure he thought that. He thought, well, it doesn't feel wrong to do the things I did. So, or George Ryan, it didn't feel wrong to do these things, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. And then all of a sudden when you're in prison, maybe that wasn't a good ideal. But that's all I have to say about morality. At some point I want to talk more about it, but at the end of the day, it comes down to that. It's just about feelings. Feeling something is right. Feeling something is wrong. To me, it doesn't feel right to take something that doesn't belong to me. But if somebody, scratches my car, it might feel right to put a fist in their face. But then that would, be wrong, because that's illegal. You can't just punch a person for hitting your car. You can't do that. That's immoral. But who sets the standards? And we know that there's a difference between illegal and immoral, because it would have been illegal, for example, to help a slave escape, back in the 1800s or something. But was that right? But people debate back and forth about morality all day and all night. And it's one of those things that you can talk about and argue about. But again, I think David Hume had it right. It's really about what we feel. And that's it. That's my take on it. Other people can, you can put your opinions out there. And that's all I have to say. I'm kind of tired. But I got to go to work anyway.